unusual piece of furniture with an with them. I love this chair. Couldn't be simpler. Just made from pine boards. This desk shows elements of Southwestern design with these cutouts. In the center of the room here, we have an ancient-looking coffee table, even though we know that coffee tables are a relatively recent innovation. Look at this chest on stand. It's been painted. It has nicely cut dovetails on the corner, but the stand is a little unusual. It has flat legs that are set at a 45-degree angle. Now, there are rugs all over the room, these hanging on the wall add a splash of color, as well as those that are on the floor. But here's the piece I wanted you to see. Now I'm going to resaw it in half again. It's always a good idea with the bandsaw to keep a minimum amount of blade unsupported. So I'm going to lower down my support strip before I run the piece through.
Welcome to the spectacular island of Jamaica.
HGTV.
You want to get back the water?
Forget the water. Pass the tunnels.
They're extraordinary homes worthy of an encore. HGTV takes you into the private homes of some of Broadway's most creative minds.
I really wanted a low-maintenance bachelor pad, but that also had a certain, New York sophistication.
From a state-of-the-art apartment to an 18th century farmhouse.
Everything about this house is truly a home.
Join us for Showplace's Broadway Homes. Sunday at 9 Eastern, only on HGTV.
Now this piece is going to yield some good parts. Now to complete the top and bottom of each tenon, I've tipped the saw to 9 degrees and set it so it's only 1/4 of an inch above the table. First I make the cut near the shoulder and then nibble away the rest. Now to complete the other edge of the tenon, it's necessary to move them up. Now these holes that I'm pre-drilling and counterboring in the cleat will be for the screws that I'll use to secure the top. Here I'm elongating the outermost holes of the cleat to allow for some expansion of the top in seasonal changes. With a little bit of glue on all the joints of the leg assembly, I'll clamp them together and set them aside to dry. And I think we'll start working on the top. Well, here's what remains of the board that I used to make the prototype top. And it's about 20 inches. Now, I've stripped the clamps off the leg assemblies because the glue is dry. And the next thing I want to do is make a groove across each leg for the draw support. Well, now I want to spend some time sanding the edges of all the parts, either by machine or by hand, to give it that rustic look. Well, good morning. Before I quit last night, I did finish the sanding of all the leg assemblies and the other parts for the base of our table. And I'm starting today by adding a decorative element. On the original, the mortise and tenon joint was held together with a dowel pin. I'm installing one just for looks. Of course, the glue will hold the joint together. First a hole about 1 inch deep, not all the way through. A little touch of glue. We'll drive in a dowel. Now, using my dovetail saw, I'll just trim it off so that it's just proud of the surface, about a 32nd of an inch, and sand off any excess. Well, now I'm ready to install the draw support. A little bit of glue in the slots that I made in the legs, and then it just gets centered between the legs. And I'll attach it with 1 4-penny finish nail at each location. Well, now I'm ready to attach the leg assemblies to the top. And I have a bit of a problem. With changes in humidity,
$19.95 a month. Click the MSN icon on your Windows 95 or 98 desktop or call for a free CD. With exceptional speed and reliability that take the guesswork out of internet connections, there's only one question left to ponder.
well, now we're ready to build the draw. If you remember, the legs are splayed outward from the top. So I want to make the draw front conform to that angle. So I'll have to bevel each edge so that the top is a little narrower than the bottom. So I've adjusted my miter gauge to 1.5 degrees, and I'll trim each end of the draw front.